Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about how Trump's Japanese trade deal isn't actually done and the problems we haven't already talked about. Something that even after a decade of him being on the national scene, a lot of large outlets still haven't seemed to figure out is that Trump isn't a source. A Trump announcement of a deal doesn't mean it actually happened. And it certainly doesn't mean the details of the deal are what he said they were. He just knows that his base will move on to the next headline before anybody actually examines it. Trump said that as part of the trade deal, U.S. car makers could get access to Japanese markets. The automakers laughed at the absurdity of U.S. cars on Japanese streets. Then they pointed out that they now face higher tariffs for cars with high U.S. content than Japanese automakers face for cars with almost no U.S. content. But we already covered that in depth. So today, we're going to talk about other parts of the deal. First, let's talk about the $550 billion fund that Trump said the U.S. would get 90% of the profit from. That's a claim that a lot of people questioned because $550 billion amounts to a huge chunk of Japan's GDP. Japan's GDP was only $4.2 trillion in 2023. Japan's prime minister has indicated that Japan would engage in investments, loans, and loan guarantees for a maximum amount of $550 billion. I haven't found a time frame yet. From the Japanese side of the statements, it really just looks like they'll be investing as usual and maybe picking up more U.S.-based debt and profiting off it. Which, hey, that's business. But from their statements, Trump's massive fund seems to be, as economists are calling it, vaporware. Something that will just disappear. So, Trump lost the automaker battle. His fund is anything but certain. It doesn't even look like it's been finalized among negotiators. The Japanese seem to have a very different read on the deal. And then there's the big one, the Japanese diet. Their legislature has to approve large parts, if not all of the deal. That approval isn't certain either, especially since the parties are shifting there. In Japan, trade negotiations, particularly with the U.S., are seen as a test of leadership. Parts of the legislature may oppose large segments of the deal for partisan reasons. As Trump announces his next trade deal, it might be worth remembering all of the fanfare he produced about the Japanese trade deal. He painted it as historic and amazing, got the headlines, and now, just a few days later, as more information comes out, it really seems like they rolled right over him in key parts, and it's not even finalized. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.